former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam, whereas the same thing could happen here. Two-part question, Jonathan. The obsession with machetes, with knives, what is that about?
Well, this is a great question. I'll tell you what this leads to. We are not looking at ISIS. We're not looking at Al-Qaeda. We're not even looking at radical Islam, which we call it. We're looking at fundamental Mohammedism. It's over 1,000 years old. These are the same tactics and techniques that they used 1,000 years ago. But now they have technologies that they can also use, Twitter, airplanes,
But when
internet.
you bring the hatchet into a place like New York City, like was the case a couple of months back where a guy wanted to attack two cops, you start wondering, well, what's a pattern here?
Well, the reaction was the same then that it's going to be now. When somebody gets hit with a hatchet, it's a very traumatic experience for the community around there. That was then, this is now. Now it's not just 10 people that saw it in the local square. Now you're looking at hundreds of millions of people across the world seeing that. And in the United States, we're not prepared for that. Even though we've had these, attacks in 9/11 in Boston, even the lady getting beheaded in Oklahoma, the government is not preparing the citizenry to react to these things.
To what end? I mean, you're not alarming anyone just to bring it to their attention and educate them what to do in the event something awful happens.
They don't even do that. Neil, I've been on your show now for quite some time, and I've been talking about the same thing. I've been on Fox for 2 years talking about this, and I can go back as far as 10 years ago when I was a contractor working with Homeland Security, going all over the country, telling people, you need to secure your malls, your tall buildings, your stadiums and arenas, teaching your people. If you see something, say something. They didn't used to have that in New York City. That was a big step forward. But we've been talking about this. The experts in the field that think unconventionally have been talking about this for years, all the way back to 1979.
Well, it's always been your contention, for as long as I've been talking to you, that a lot of these nefarious elements are already here. A lot of them are American-born.
Sure.
Forget about the ones we're trying to track flying off to Syria. I guess there have been 100 of them who've either done it or tried it. That a good many are malcontents already here. How do we sniff them out?
Well, we can't. Law enforcement can't do it all, and I can't say this enough. The people have to start realizing what's normal and what's not. Islam has to realize. I always say that they should police themselves, but they have to realize if it starts to get out of hand, people are going to turn on them. They're going to turn on them with violence, and Islam needs to realize that. Eventually, if it gets bad enough, they're going to become victims as well. And here, this is a huge threat.
I think they want that.
Some of them do, but some of them don't, and those that don't need to realize and step up to the plate. But here's a big thing about these people traveling over. One person can travel there and come back and learn how to fight and teach 10 people. That's much easier than having 10 people come over here and infiltrate into this country. That's a real problem.
That's a very good
point. We don't even talk about the people who are coming over here to train these operatives that are inspired inside this country.
Or that have already trained them.
Or that have already trained them. We're now reactive. We're no longer active.
You're right about that. Jonathan Gilliam, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.